What's up, everybody? It's Sin, and you're back with Auto Brain Tuning. Today, today's video is a little different. Today's video will be more of input lag and latency. I had a couple people leave me some comments and ask, hey, even though you're playing on a Steam Deck and you're playing a PC version of the game, how's your input lag? Is it a delay? Do you have a delay? Do you experience, rapid frame drops? So today's video is going to be a little bit different from the other earlier videos that you guys may have watched. If you didn't, link in the description to the previous video where we take the BMW M6 and the McLaren 720S and a 12 person mini race all for a spin on the Steam Deck. So check that out if you haven't checked that out. Link in the description below. So input lag, fidelity, latency. Let's jump in. All right, so it looks like we're loading up here at Cadwell Park. And we have a Cayman GT4 ClubSport, personal favorite of mine. Very, very neutral car, very balanced. But we're not so much here for neutrality and balance. We're here to, I guess, prove a point. This came in as mid-engine. Most people know that. If you didn't know that, now you do. Mid-engine cars handle pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Today, this video is really about the latency, though, and the input lag and what the frame generation and frame drops and viability and how it's held up with me using my wheel and gaming on it with a controller and in handheld mode, and how that affects input lag, latency, fidelity, especially during races, during hot laps, during time attack. You know, these things are important. So we're gonna jump here into the settings. I am probably gonna goof this up a bit, but um, there is a tuning guide that if I can find it, and I probably will by the time you guys see this video, I will also link in the description where it explains all of the tire pressures, you know, how to open events, why to open events, and all of those specific items, excuse me. Um, what we're gonna do here is though, we're gonna try to set the car up as neutral as possible. Not gonna rush. I'm gonna go through a couple things: sway bars, dampeners, um, bump stops, roll bars, and that pesky SOB, known as the steering lock. The steering lock really is the key to this game. I've noticed it. If you can get the steering lock on point, you can drive anything. It's almost imperative that you understand how the steering lock accounts for all your camber and caster and height adjustments. These things are very, very important because if you don't have enough steering input, all the camber and caster and the alignment specs and dampening specs go to waste. Just gonna finish up here, toy around with a couple things. Cadwell Park has some very interesting terrain. A lot of uphills, a lot of downhills, a lot of uneven pavement, a lot of bumpy pavement. So trying to adjust the car to make it as neutral as possible to give the most honest input experience that I can give going forward in this video. All right, all right, all right, all right, everybody. You see we're in the seat. I always give the steering wheel a swing and the gas a little dip in, make sure everything's okay. I always calibrate before a race, but I always turn the wheel and press the gas before I start a race. And you'll see here, boom, that little tap on the wall there is that pesky steering lock again. But let's get up this temp. Let's race. Now, what I will say, as I'll narrate it from cold tires to hot tires, the cold tires feel mushy. They feel like the sidewalls are very, very mushy, like gummy almost. As they heat up, you feel more and more communication through the wheel. And Automobilista 2 having a Logitech profile already in the game software definitely makes a big deal, because you don't have to go and try to figure out all the force feedback. Oh, I cut the line there. You don't have to go and figure out all the extra force feedback settings. There's a baseline where you can start from. As you guys can see, the tires are turning a turquoise color, so we're in between cold and warm. This section of Caldwell Park gets me every time. Just these back S's in that uphill section, it's a rush. It's a rush, man. Oh my goodness. But as far as input lag goes, you guys see any input lag? I don't. Every turn, every tug, every gear shift, that's me doing it. What I will notice is that certain cars have a RPM lockout. You know, if you're too high or too low, the gear change won't register. Maybe it's my older G920 beginning to fail me. I hope not, but I occasionally notice that when you go to double bump on the downshift, the car goes, that's not what we're made for. You have to be nice and go one gear at a time. So how's it been? It's been roughly 9.5 months since I've picked up the Steam Deck, and I've had enough time to sit down and become very acquainted with it. And Automobilista was the first sim that I got working 90% sake, so to say, before you see what you see here today. And it's been great. It's been great. It's been a champ. I've thrown everything at it. If you're nosy and you want to, you can scroll up to the top the top left of the screen, and you'll see our Mango HUD information there, and you'll see what's going on in the making of this video currently while I was driving around Caldwell Park. You can see all the specs. Don't laugh at my GPU being maxed out. Look at the wattage. Don't look at the percentage, look at the wattage. Steam Deck usually sits in a fan dock, so the heat from the sink is immediately evacuated, doesn't get a chance to hang around. Unplugged, which I have tried, and part of this race actually, you'll see it'll transition over. You won't be able to tell the difference, but you'll see. We tried a lap and a half unplugged, and still no input lag, no latency, no fidelity issues, nothing. The car is as how it feels. The curbs are very genuine too. If you go over a curb and you go over it the wrong way, you're gonna feel it, even through the controller. If you flat spot a tire, you'll feel it. It's whichever tire model. It escapes my mind right now, but whichever tire model Razor Studios is using, and coupled with the new update, with the newer GT3 cars that they just added, and the 2005 era tracks of Road Atlanta, Sebring, and a couple other tracks, the improvements that they keep making on this tire model is really, really good. As most people, some people criticize it and they complain about what people would say on-off physics. Sometimes the car feels on, sometimes the car feels off. I challenge them and say, maybe you should dial your wheel in just a bit more. Maybe you should dial your car settings in just a bit more. Out of the box, this is a great sim. Out of the box, the Steam Deck is a extremely powerful piece of hardware. The two go hand in hand. You're watching this video, it's living proof. The two go hand in hand. Does it take some tweaking? I always say that in all my videos. It always takes tweaking. It's Linux, guys. But as you see, we're starting to clip apexes a little tighter, change directions a little harder, and by our tire model above our rear view mirror on the right hand side of the screen, you see we're in the all green. We're in the optimal zone for hot lapping and qualifying laps. Alright, we're going to jump back in here on the fourth lap. We're going to go back down this main straight here. Let's see what's going on. Now, if you've gone through my page before, you'll see a couple videos. There's two videos, one with a green McLaren and one with a red McLaren. Both of those videos are controller-only videos. Those videos were played with either the Steam Deck gamepad. Overcooked it into the grass. I'm gonna charge them for mowing the grass. However, those two videos are solely handheld and controller played, no wheel involved. Those are my controller settings that I've painstakingly combed over hundreds of articles and dozens of hours of figuring out what feels the best to bring that experience to you guys. As far as playing with the 920, I've done a pedal mod for everyone, you know, because people who don't know, they're like, oh, stay away from Logitech, you're gonna die. Just sometimes some things take a little bit more time to, I guess, acclimate to, and as you acclimate to them, you get better with them. You're seeing all this driving happening on a Logitech G920 with Logitech G920 pedals. I did mod them. I did mod the brake pedal. No, it is not a TMR or Hall effect. It's just simple mods to the stop and a little shaky there. Simple mods to the bump stop in the pedal itself. But the steering lock is a big issue here. I feel like I'm having issues getting around the track a bit faster because my steering lock isn't correct. I'm not sure. Maybe when I'm combing over another video and I look back over the footage, I'll check the steering lock. But there will be no replay highlights this video. This is all FOV, field of view, cockpit video, so everyone can see not just the detail of how this small handheld product is handling this sim racing game, but also so people can see exactly all my inputs. If you look in the speedo, you can see my brake and gas inputs. I haven't figured out how to get the steering inputs yet. I'm gonna download probably a telemetry app and integrate that into the game, so then my steering will also be displayed when we stream. But everything you're seeing is Logitech G920 USB directly into the Steam Deck dock with Razer Studios' Logitech profile that they have built into the game, and slight tweaking to the force feedback, turning it down, not up, and turning up the FX, this not being a direct drive wheel. And I don't think I'm missing too many apexes. You guys think so? Might I mention also, this video was recorded and rendered on the Steam Deck at roughly 960p. It upscales to 1080 and can upscale even higher to 1440 with some work. But I don't feel any input lag. Whenever I get in the seat and I plug the game in, ooh, little tap, little kiss on the wall. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're still in the green, so nothing's broke. Whew, wipe the sweat. But whenever I get in the seat, and even when things like that happen, the wheel is so communicative. It tells me, hey, you're sliding off. Hey, you have too much brake input. Hey, you have too much steering input. It's been pretty bang on, honestly, and very, very impressive. So I'm gonna adjust the bias here, as you see in the video, and I may or may not adjust it correctly, as in the moment when I was driving, I was more so worried about staying on the track, as Caldwell Park will, with his off-camber corners, throw you into the grass, as you've just seen. But as the tires and the brakes heat up, it is important to move not only the brake bias, but the ABS and the traction control bias around the car, so that the car has a neutral feel as you hit the brakes and accelerate. It helps with corner entry speed, corner exit speed, and it also helps balancing the weight being pulled off the wheels onto the front from the back. Like in this corner right here. No drama. The idea is you want to find a happy medium. The numbers, I can't give you exact numbers. I can give you a personal number. For mid-engine cars, I like to go between 55 and 57% to the front. With front engine cars, I like to go, depending on what kind of car it is, between 55 and 60. It's up to you. It's your driving style. I can't dictate how you drive. I can only show you what's here. Caldwell being a bumpy track, I think would probably need constant reevaluation of the bias, just because of the constant changing nature of the track. This track with, oh my goodness, 15 or 16 other people or 20 other cars would be nuts. It would be absolutely nuts. You would constantly be having to change your traction control bias, your brake bias, your ABS bias, just because of the ever-changing nature of the track, not necessarily the car itself. I would say for the last 9 months, this thing has been bang on. If you haven't bought a Steam Deck, buy a Steam Deck. If you like the sim race and you haven't bought a Steam Deck, you should give it a try. I know you're stuck to your PC, I know you like your PC, but give Steam Deck a try. You could also give the Ally and the Lenovo a go, but give these small handheld devices their credit. This is amazing, everybody. This is amazing. Look at the input. There's no input lag. I'm gonna bring it in here after this final one. So I'm gonna close this video out here. I'm gonna give some final thoughts and, just gonna let you guys know how I really feel. This is really fun. This is probably some of the most fun I've had with racing games in a long time. And I've been playing racing games for over 25 years at this point. It's held up great. Valve has created a great product, and I hope to never ever not be without one. It is viable. It takes some tweaking, it takes some time, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And yes, it is affordable. Used Steam Decks are, in one respect, pennies on the dollar, and newer ones cost about as much as a console. You know what? I think I'll call this will be my 9-month wrap up. This video will focus on fidelity and everything. We're gonna bang into the pit, everybody. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is Sin, Auto Brain Tuning. Like, share, subscribe. We're out.